So you go down to the coop and you see a dead chicken and you're like, what in the world happened? Did I do something wrong? Well, in today's video, we're gonna talk about why chickens die, what to expect, and did you do anything wrong? Hey, this is Ashley at Hedrick Homestead, and today we're talking about when chickens die. I like to break this down into two camps. Number one is the chicken that gets sick, that slowly gets worse and worse, and you know it's coming. And then you also have, in camp number two, the chicken that just flopped over. Like, it was fine one day, and you go down to the coop the next day, and it's now dead. All right, so let's take that sick chicken example. Now, if I have a chicken that is sick, it's looking lethargic, its feathers are all ruffly, fluffily, they look straggled. You'll know a sick chicken when you see one. They're not active, they're not the typical busybodies they normally are. They're just sort of sitting there in this like super somber state. That is a sick chicken. And what I normally do with those birds is I'll leave them be sometimes if they're not too bad, but if they're really not looking good, I will separate them from the flock. I'll bring them up to the barn, put them in a little stall, give them an area where they can easily get food and water, and then just watch them. I also did a video on sick chickens, so please check that out if you're interested in learning more about how I care for sick chickens. To be honest, I don't do much. I observe them, I check on them, but unfortunately, every single chicken that I've had to separate from the flock has eventually died. Thankfully, in all those situations, I've never had it spread to the rest of the flock. It was just a one bird thing, they got sick and they died. So that's what I do if you see a chicken that's looking sick, it's looking lethargic, separate it, keep an eye on it, keep an eye on the rest of the flock, but don't stress about it. Most likely the rest of your birds are totally fine. They're not gonna get sick, they're not all gonna die. In every single case scenario that I've dealt with for the past 13 years of chicken keeping now, that has been how it's gone. Not saying it's impossible, but it's likely that everybody else is perfectly okay. Okay, let's talk about the other side of things. Like, let's say you go down to the coop and you open the door and all of a sudden there's a dead chicken there. She was totally fine yesterday. This actually just happened to me a couple weeks ago. I went down to the coop and one of my favorite birds, my speckled Sussex, was lying under the nest boxes, dead. What happened? What's going on? Do I need to be worried about the rest of my chickens? Did I do something wrong? No. Most likely, no. Things like this happen, whether, I think of it like a heart attack, a stroke. Maybe your chicken was egg bound, meaning she couldn't pass an egg and you just didn't notice it. It's okay. These things happen. Don't feel bad about it. Move on. It's gonna be okay. It's not your fault. In these situations, I also don't worry about the rest of the flock. I get the dead bird out of there, but everybody else just goes back to normal and is happy and healthy. Like I said, this just happened to me a couple weeks ago. My other birds are totally fine. I've been down there every day with them and have not noticed any problems. So I hope that helps answer your question about what happened? My chicken died. Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. Things like this just happen. And most likely the rest of your flock is completely fine. You can go on as normal, continue gathering your eggs, eating your wonderful farm fresh eggs, and enjoying your backyard flock. All right, until next time.